Hey friends, Mike Meiers here with the Songwriting for Guitar podcast, and you're listening to Chapter 5 from my book, The Songwriting Guitarist, Transformation in Just 15 Minutes a Day. Chapter 5. Is there money in guitar? If your goal is just to write better songs for yourself, I think that's awesome. However, I want you to know a few things. There's a market for great songwriters with professional guitar skills. The music licensing industry, which includes music for film, TV, ads, web-only ads, is over a $4 billion industry yearly. That money isn't going to just one person. It's spread out to many, many people. Think about how many streaming services there are that need music to fit particular vibes. If you're someone who knows how to achieve that, there's an outlet for you. Custom songwriting and session work is a $23 billion industry as well. When I say session work, it means taking your guitar and writing custom parts for a song. To find work in customized songwriting, there are platforms like Songfinch and Downwrite, where you can write for specific occasions such as anniversaries or celebrations of some sort. They may mention certain elements they want in the song, or they want the song to feel a certain way. If you're good at capturing the vibe and feel with those three elements we just talked about, there's most certainly an outlet for you. Regardless of how far you want to take this, there is money to be made. Maybe you'd want to do this full time. Maybe you just want to have some extra side cash. When I started to do session work, it was great. I was shocked when I was paid $400 to record some guitar. I was now getting paid for something that I was already doing and wanted to get better at. I think that's amazing. The key to becoming a sought-after guitar player is serving the song and serving the writing. It's all about supporting the song. Imagine you're in a room exchanging ideas and you guide the right by communicating with your guitar, and you do a good job. You've just upped the game for everyone in the room. That's so valuable. It's the worst feeling when you have a great idea and it's rejected because you couldn't relay it correctly or play it convincingly on your guitar. It's like reverting back to childhood when no one could understand you and you would get pushed aside because you didn't have the right words to tell someone your thoughts. Same thing here. It's why you need to be doing this. If you implement and incorporate a practice routine into your schedule with these things I've talked about, you will be able to communicate ideas effectively. You'd be surprised that if you put in the work, how it will dramatically shift your growth in songwriting and open up opportunities. 5 major points. 1, always pay attention to vibe and the feel of the song and practice active listening. 2, research genres and their unique 3 elements. Keep notes. 3, incorporate the 3 major elements into your practice routine. 4, make a practice routine that works. Divide it into chunks and concentrate on that one thing. 5, when it comes to writing, serve and lift the song with your guitar and communicate through it. Is there money in guitar? Of course there's money in guitar. There's lots of money in guitar. And that's why I wanted to close out this chapter to show you the need and all these new revenue streams. I think because there's a lot of false information. There's a lot of people talking about this with false information. They make it sound like songwriting, guitar work is like a poor man's job. Like, good luck with that. I was at a party once. It was like a family gathering, and I had an uncle that like came up to me and was like, "Oh, it's terrible what songwriters are going through." And I was like, "What are we going through?" Which is funny because my uncle's not a songwriter. I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Oh, I saw this, this article about, streaming services and you don't get a lot of money." And I was like, "I'm not relying on streaming services." And I explained licensing and I explained, I explained the whole thing. His mind was just like, "What? You got to tell other people about this." And I was like, "I know, that's why I do what I do too, to inform all these other opportunities, the things that are out there." So if you have people around you that they seem like they're giving advice, but my question is, when people give you advice, look at what they're doing. Do they do the thing? Do they have like exact knowledge? No, most of the time people are just kind of giving this general thought or false assumptions. That's why I wanted to close out with this, because it's so important to remember there's so much opportunity. I've been into this journey for quite a while, and it's funny to see how still there's so many opportunities, especially within licensing. Just today, as I'm recording this, I'm working on something, and the reference track that the company gave, was one of my tracks. It was up top, and I was like, yes, that was so exciting. I was like, this is why it's so good, because you think there's a million people out there doing this. It's not a million people. So these skills are highly valuable, and you have to remember this, because if you refine all these things that I'm telling you right now, trust me, you're going to do fine.